The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The House Committee on Energy has approved a substitute bill seeking to institutionalize minimum inventory requirements for petroleum products and unbundling purposes, among others. To give us more details on this, we have Marian Enriquez reporting live from Parañaque. Marian, good morning. What do you have for us?
Yes, Charles, the House Committee on Energy has already approved the substitute bill seeking to amend Republic Act 8479 or the Oil Deregulation Law. The proposed amendments highlight two important items: institutionalization of minimum inventory requirements for purposes of supply security and unbundling of the petroleum costs using the automatic pricing mechanism or APM, as the unregulated price of oil and other duties and taxes, administrative and operational costs, and industry take totaled as the indicative retail price. Deputy Minority Leader and Marikina Representative Stella Kimbo stressed that unbundling the retail price of domestic petroleum product does not run counter to the principle of deregulation and is in fact a tool to ensure its effectivity. She added that the DOE must be mandated to monitor the unbundled retail prices and noted that the weekly changes in MOPs should not be the basis in price monitoring. Kimbo said that this will prevent firms from unjustly adjusting their pump prices based on weekly changes in MOPs, even though their current inventories were bought at lower price levels. She also agreed with mandating a minimum inventory level, as this will help in price stabilization. Charles, other members of the House panel reiterated their call for a special session to deliberate on the said bill and suspending the excise tax on fuel. They underscore the need to conduct a session as soon as possible, as this will only be tackled once Congress resumes on May 25. That's after elections. Charles?
Thank you. That was Marian Enriquez reporting live from Parañaque. The Energy Department says there might be a possible rollback of fuel prices by next week. Speaking to Radyo 5, DOE Oil Industry Management Bureau Director Rino Abad said global oil prices have started going down as of Friday. That's why if this trend continues, the country might be seeing a rollback soon.
Nung Friday, last week, pababa na po siya. Malaki na po ang binaba nung MAPS price at we're expecting na lalong bababa. In fact, kung tuloy-tuloy po ang trend, baka mag-rollback tayo next week.
A fishers group suspended operations today as oil prices increased for the 11th straight week. Pamalakaya says their so-called tigil palaot, or the suspension of fishing operations, is their form of protest against the supposed overpricing of petroleum products by oil companies. The group is also protesting against the government's supposed neglect in correcting these practices. Pamalakaya said the big-time oil price hikes will bring up the average prices of 12 liters of diesel per fishing trip to 924 pesos from 780 pesos just from a couple of weeks ago. The Fishers Group notes that 80% of the entire fishing production cost goes to fuel alone. Vice President Leni Robredo is currently making rounds in Mindanao to try to woo more voters. Recall that the island group of Mindanao suffered the most during the martial law years due to the Moro insurgency. And the people of Kidapawan still quite remember this. To give us more details, mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro now joins us live from Kidapawan City. Good morning, Jacob. How did Kidapawan residents show that they still some of the things that happened during martial law?
Hi, Charles. During the mini rally here in Kidapawan City, the host and people actively chanted never again to martial law. And martial law survivor Thea Narciso told her story about how she was tortured and raped during the martial law era for false charges against her, as she said. Now, it's important to note that this doesn't always happen in the Robredo's rally. Most of the time, it's the senatorial balls or the guest speakers that brings up the topic about Marcos. But here, it's actually the people and the guest. It's actually the people that actively remembered what happened during the martial law era, how they suffered. Now, it's the people that remember this on their own, the horrors that they suffered.
Who among the VP's senatorial slate is expected to join her in Kidapawan?
Okay. Well, senatorial balls in attendance here were Attorney Alex Lacson, Chel Jokno, Risa Hontiveros, Senator Dick Gordon, and the representative of Laila de Lima. Senator Kiko Pangilinan is also here, along with Vice President Lenny Robredo. And actually, Vice President Lenny Robredo is speaking right now.
All right, as the VP addresses her followers there in Kidapawan, could you give us a rough estimate of how many people attended this event?
Right now, there's no really figure from the organizers of how many, but the venue is definitely filled, and actually more than filled. If I were to give an estimate based on my own observation, there would be around 1,000 people here in attendance.
Right, Jacob, one last question before I let you go. After visiting Kidapawan this morning, where else will the Robredo-Pangilinan tandem head to next?
Actually, she has 3 different courtesy calls with 3 different mayors for the North and South Cotabato today. And she will also have a mini people's rally after this in Corondal City. And the day would end with the people's rally in General Santos City, the tuna capital of the Philippines.
Thanks for that, Jacob. That was mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro reporting live from Kidapawan City. The Commission on Elections has addressed concerns on transparency for the upcoming May polls. Recall that the Senate Committee on Electoral Reform's chairperson Amy Marcos recently shared her concerns about official ballots and SD cards that have been printed and configured without the presence of an election stakeholder. Comelec Chairman Sandamin Pangarungan explained that this only happened because Metro Manila was still under alert level 3 back then. Comelec Commissioner George Garcia also assured the public that they will give more concrete answers about these issues within the week.
Concern ko yun nung practitioner ako Ang concern ko, teka muna, original ba yung balotang yan? Galing ba talaga sa NPO yung balotang yan? Give us just one day. After tomorrow, we will answer to you we will answer back the question po na yun. We will be facing the Joint Congressional Oversight Committee this coming Thursday, and definitely po that will be asked. And we should be prepared for that. We will get back on you on that question definitely.
Misamis Occidental mayoral candidate George Matunog Jr. is now in stable condition after he was shot by unidentified men near his home. In a Facebook post, Matunog's son Joshua confirmed that he is now able to speak despite sustaining gunshot wounds in his jawbone and cheek. The Matunog family also appealed to the public to help them identify the assailants, and authorities believe that either politics or a business feud could be the motive behind the attack.
Wala naman ma'am na direct threat talaga. Yun nga ang nakapagtataka kasi hindi man din namin na sense yung political tension dito sa UR namin kasi walang ganun na talaga na malaking problema. 2016 na national and local election, sabi nila hindi pa kasi ako nakadestino dito nung time na yun. May political rivalry issue involving itong biktima.
Time now for a quick look at some of today's headlines. The highest oil price hike in a decade takes effect today. At 6 a.m. this morning, prices of diesel increased by 13 pesos and 15 centavos per liter. Gasoline prices climbed by 7 pesos and 10 centavos per liter, while kerosene is now up 10 pesos and 50 centavos per liter. Despite some areas in northern Luzon turning pink these past few days, Bongbong Marcos believes their solid north remains intact. And PDP Laban Vice President for Visayas and Eastern Samar Governor Ben Evardone officially endorses Vice President Lenny Robredo. VP Lenny likewise gets the endorsement of Bulacan Governor Daniel Fernando. The heart of volleyball is back for a new season. Watch the 2022 Premier Volleyball League Open Conference live and in high definition starting March 16 from Sunday to Friday on One Sports Plus on Channel 261 on Signal. Also available on Satellite Channel 54 and Signal Play. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.